Hey everybody, welcome to Dream Agent Academy. I'm so excited to have you for this episode of tracking your leads. So the topic of today, we're going to be talking about the right tools that will help you track your leads so that you can stay in touch with every single action that you are conducting on a daily basis. Understand that having a dashboard, such a dashboard is a must. It's not something optional, because what happened is that we on day one, we for example, we reach out to a number of people, and then on number two, some of them, a number of them, if we reach out to 10, maybe one or two will say, hi, how you doing? And you may have a conversations with the two serious conversations. And those conversations, if you can't track them, then eventually you will lose track of the speed and the journey of that conversation itself, which going to lead simply to lose a sales, basically, because those people who gave you good signs that they want to talk and you weren't able to continue the conversation and move them into the next step or the next phase of that conversation, then it simply is going to be lost, and you never be able to regain it. And even if you remember in a month or two, what happened? And even if you remember in a month or two, you will have a hard time resuming that conversation. So it needs to be immediate. So in this video, I'm going to give you the CRM track, the inputs that you need to use so that you don't lose track of any of your prospect. Then once we do that, I'm going to give you a script so that you can get a gist of how to conduct conversations on Messenger. So it's like how to break the ice, how to move the conversations into business questions. These kind of stuff, they take time. A lot of people, they spend time and time again just trying to build reports, and they waste all the time. By the time they get to ask a business question and trying to explore for the pain, you already burned yourself out, and the person is already not interested in having that conversation anymore. So it needs to be immediate and effective. Okay, so without further ado, let me share with you first the CRM. Notice that the CRM, it's not really, I'm sorry. The CRM, it doesn't really matter if you are using a CRM, you're using Excel sheets, Excel or Google Sheets. It doesn't really matter. What matters is the input and the how you build your tracking system. So the first thing you want to do is you want to record the name of the person that you just sent an invitation or you just sent a welcome message to. That's very important. This way you know that you did send that message. Once you send the message, then you wait for a reply. Generally, what we're looking for this reply is basically just yes, no, or just a any kind of reply is fine, because we want to take it one step at a time. We never look to sell from the get-go. We try to first understand their pain, understand what's their, as I'm going to mention in a minute. So first we want to build a report, and we want to build it in a strategic way. I will go in deep in the next documents where I'll share with you that. Then if he replies, the goal is to qualify them or him, and we do that by exploring for pain and asking inviting questions. If he didn't reply, we want to make sure that we continue to post, and then make sure that we engage on their content so that they can get exposed to our content when we post. That's a detail that is very important, because without doing so, the system, the algorithm won't show those prospects your content. Next, you want to wait for a few days, maybe 2-3 days, and then circle back and say, hey, how you doing? How's your day, or whatever it is. And if they don't reply again, then you wait 5-10 days, and then you send another welcome message. And at this time, if they don't reply, then you need to stop there and just do it later on, every month or so. Okay, so that's the first scenario. Now let's assume that they did reply. Now it's time to do some triage, and if they come out of the gate spitting out their their pain and frustrations, you want to make sure you are empathizing with them as a first step without trying to pitch your product. That's very, very important. Then you want to keep digging until you are able to hear them label their pain or problem, or you feel you have enough information you can act on that gives you the legitimacy to ask them for a sales call. So either or, okay? If once you get to that point and you see that the person, they say enough, they answer your questions, and answering, by the way, we'll talk about this later, by answering questions and telling you about their problems, that's in itself, it's a signal, it's a green signal that they're already trusting that you may be able to help them. So that's very, very important. And that's why I'm talking about building an audience that really fit what you do, so that everything is already built by the time you're having conversation. You are not trying to figure out if this person have kids and needs life insurance or whatever. So your audience needs to be already optimized from the get-go. So everything you do, every single action you do, it builds up. Okay? So by this time, I want to make sure that they spit out all their pain, and or I feel as if they gave me enough signals. And once I see that, then I can go ahead and ask them, hey, by the way, I believe I can help you, but I'm not sure. Would you be open to joining me in a quick 30-minute call? So that's a blunt invitation for a sales call. Okay? If they book, that's what we're going to see here. If they don't book, keep circling back once or twice a month. Okay? If you give them an invitation here and they don't, after they say everything and they spoke about all their pain and everything, now it's time to relax. If they don't book, say no problem. If they say, okay, well, I'm busy right now, I can't really jump on any call, no worries. I will be circling back to you later on. Do you have a time, specific time that you may want me to circle back, or we can leave it just to coincidence? If they say yes, maybe next week or maybe in a month, fine. If no, then make sure to reach out to them every single month. Okay, once or twice a month. Now, the discovery call, this is something that normally your company should be able to provide you with. Every single company gives a different script, but the idea is, I'm not advocating for scripts, but I'm saying is that you need the script so that you can structure your conversations and you are not wasting your time speaking about the weather and the dogs. You want to make sure that you are structuring your conversations. Every single question is asked in the right place, in the right time. Okay? By the time you finish this conversation, understand that they spit their guts, you invite them, they accept the sales call. At this time, you should be able to position and make an offer and close them, because you have everything aligned so far and you don't need, and basically there is no reason why they should not take you on your offer. Of course, there are exceptions, but I'm saying that there's always the objection of the money, and there's always objection of, but speaking of just in general, if everything is aligned, then fine. If not, if this is a different topic, well, the best way to close in these sales is to listen well. I think using scripts is okay. Just if they didn't take you on your offer at that point, then you have a few options. Book a following call. This time, get to the bottom, and next time you if they say no, I'm not, I can't do it right now, you say, okay, well, how about if we book in a month, a call in a month, and see how you feel. Then you book a call, and if they say, and you try to close them in a month, and understand that you have all the signs, all the green signs is in your favor, because they have been answering, they have been spitting out all their problems, they have been they accepted to join you on the sales calls, they answer all your questions. The only thing that they didn't want to is to take you on your offer. And here you shouldn't you shouldn't feel bad about it, because people are in different stages in their life. Sometimes people, they just want to feel emotionally safe making a decision. So you should be empowering them, and do not do, while you should be pushing hard trying to close them, in the meantime you shouldn't trying to do something against their will, because you want to be there to support them along the way. So it's like a thin line that you want to learn how to walk. So if they book a call for next month, that's fine, you close them. If not, then new clients signed up and they bought. So here, if they book a call, so here they signed up. Let's assume if they signed up, if you book a call, you get that strategy call, then here they bought. If they didn't buy, then you do the same thing, you follow up with them. Have been on call with you but didn't buy. So these are a couple scenarios that we'll be able to cover. The first one is they have been on a call with you but didn't buy. He's a good fit for later. So this person obviously is a perfect fit, but for whatever reason, we are not going to get into people's head. For whatever reason, they don't feel ready to pull the trigger and make that decision. That's fine. We can do the best to convince them to buy. But if they are still fixated, then it's fine. We can circle back to them weekly, and eventually, while we keep building relationships and keep tightening the bond, and once we reach out to them, eventually, hopefully, they will be able to make that decision. Or you have spoken with this person many times in Messenger, have displayed real interest, even they say they are in, but later on, but they keep pushing for later on, then the best way to go about it, the pro tip, is to reach back out these guys at least twice a month, while increasing reports and getting to know them better. Understand, as I mentioned, there are a lot of people that they are emotionally not secure. There are a lot of people that they feel that they have the budget, and so they don't cancel later on. So there are so many considerations that we don't know what people's had. Our job is to do the best we can, and then if they decide to buy, fine. If they don't, then we should be there to close them whenever they are ready, not when we are ready. That's the job of a salesman, is to be present along the journey, not when we are ready. So never replied, hit them up once or twice a month and see what happened. So this is the last scenario. If they never replied, then you want to make sure that you keep hitting them up once or twice a month, and see what happened and take it from there. Okay, so this is basically the structure of the CRM dashboard follow-up that you want to have installed in your whatever Excel, whatever you decide to do. And this way gives you, nobody will go, I call this, it's like no lead left behind. That's what I call it. So it's like no child left behind, no lead left behind. So this is very good because it allows us to keep track of everybody and stay tuned and stay really directed in what happened with every single person. Next, allow me to just give you a quick overview about the sales conversation that I want to introduce you. Where is the share the link? Stop screen. I'm gonna stop screen. Okay. I just have to cancel, then do it all over again. Share screen. Okay, share screen. Here we go. It's like I have to stop screen and then I had to share the screen all over again. There we go. Okay, so this is a quick script on what to think about. By the way, all this information will be available. So if you want to download it, you just check at the bottom of this video, you'll be able to download it. The first thing that we want to make sure so that we can increase the call response outreach when we do some outreach is to make sure that we are taking care of all levels. For example, there is a surface level. We can assume where somebody is on his journey, you have to ask for. That's the first thing. We never assume where a person is or isn't in his journey. We want to make sure to ask. People like to hear their names, so you want to make sure to address people with their names. That's the minimum courtesy you can take. People like to feel important. Ask them about themselves. Ask them about their kids, about their dogs. People always like to feel important. People like to speak to mannered people. Be very courteous and let people speak. People want to be the center of attention. Same thing. So all these elements are very important so that you can create the right environment for conversation to prosper. The next thing is, once you reach out to somebody, these are basically a few ideas that you can use so that you can break the ice and get the conversation going. The first thing is to break the ice using curiosity, reason, advice, or being assertive. So curiosity is something like, love what you mentioned regarding X. How long have you been doing X? Or where did you learn that? So this is kind of curiosity / giving credit. The reason, everybody loves good advice when it's relevant. Hey, X, love your content. It's brilliant. I noticed you are doing X, Y, and Z, but I see there is something missing. Have you thought about it? Have you thought about it, about using it before? So this is clearly straight to the face. It's an advice, unsolicited advice, but if it has merit, then I believe people will take it. You not have enough touched. I see that you didn't touch enough people or whatever. Would you mind if I share with you a few thoughts on this topic? So these are advice reasons. Casual, I see you are a big on hiking, been doing it since my childhood as well. How long have you been doing it? So these are openers that you can use. It doesn't matter what it is. It can be curiosity, casual, or advice. Doesn't really matter. What matters is that you are able to generate that first feedback, because once the feedback is started, it's very hard to stop it. People, when you ask them questions, they feel an obligation. It's like psychologically, they feel obligation. They need to answer that question. So next, once they answer the question, so here are a few things that you may want to consider. Please, the number one is the warm-up phase. This is a very important phase. All you're looking for, as I mentioned, is to establish the right environment so you increase the chances of you moving prospect to the next level. As I just mentioned, you want just to get yes, no, I've been there, not there, whatever it is. Next, the phase 2 is you want to make sure to move and to direct the conversation into probing and business conversations. All you're trying to do here is to clarify if there is a serious need to continue this conversation. This is very, very important, because before presenting your offer, you want to make sure that the person you're speaking to has at least some need for what you have to give. So start by asking questions that are broad questions, then move along down the road to dig deep once you got the right signals. One thing to understand is probing doesn't mean it should happen in one sitting. Probing is a phase where you accompany your prospect directly and indirectly, priming, exposing yourself, your brand, building the right psychological bonds, so he gets to a point where he unconsciously wants to ask you questions and do business with you. So the idea, what I'm trying to say here is basically probing doesn't happen. It doesn't need to happen in one single question. It can take few questions. So be patient about it and let people get slowly to disclose what their problem is, one step at a time. The third level is unlocking the pain. Now that we start probing and the person, you see that the person, just the fact that a person is willing to answer questions, that's another thing. Do not ask questions as if you are interrogating people. That's come across very, very rude. So you want to make sure every time you ask a question, you always empathize, you speak about your own experience, then you start again with another question. This way, it doesn't feel as if you are interrogating people. Now, once the fact of the matter that a person is open to answer your question, that's in itself a great signal. Now we want to move into the next level, into the probing, which is the unlocking the pain. And this is where everything is played. Most conversations are lost here. If probing is made properly, then unlocking the pain is simply a formal meeting where you get to listen, reinforce existing belief, and make an offer. Okay? So basically what you're doing here is just one step further into if you want to basically here, you want to allow the prospect to label the pain that they are experiencing at the moment. That's what it comes to. Okay? And the fourth stage is a segue. You want to have a clear segue on how you are going to move that conversations from just trying to unlock the pain, trying to understand the conditions of what the prospect is currently experiencing, into inviting them, either into inviting them to a sales call or sending them directly a policy to sign if you feel that a person is ready. There are times where a person is ready and needs to make that jump right away, so you can do that. And phase 5, it's a sales call, is a Zoom call, is it what's the way you are going to close your sales? How you are going to close the sales? Okay, here is basically I feel I can help you. I feel I can help you, but I'm not sure. Not sure. You never want to come across as being assertive or wanting to sell. You always want to give people the chance to say no and be delicate about it. So by using this sentence, I believe I can help you, but I'm not sure. Would you be open to jump on a quick call so that we can go deeper into all these topics and help you maybe solve that? Okay, so this is very important and helps us close sales without coming across rude or anything of that nature. All right, so I will stop right here. You guys let me know if you like this video. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. And also your comments, if you like, don't like. Understand the script that I just showed you, you need to be thought out, and so that you can use it for your own, with your own language, for your own specific, if you are a consultant, if you are a life agent, or if you are an affiliate, doesn't matter what kind of industry you happen to be in, just it needs to have some small adjustment so it can fit exactly the industry you are in and the personality and your personality. All right, have a great day. Please make sure to get back with me with questions, and I'm looking forward to next video. Make sure to open the email, next email. Okay, have a good day.